You enter a casino at 9 in the evening. You sit down at a machine for what feels like a few minutes. You cross the gaming floor, stop at a table, and eventually check your phone. It is 12:17. More than 3 hours have disappeared. You have probably heard the usual explanation. Casinos remove clocks and windows so you cannot see time passing. But that is only part of the truth. Because a modern casino does not simply hide the time. Its architecture, lighting, sounds, and even the way you move through the building can completely change how you experience it. For decades, casino design followed a simple rule. Keep the games in sight, and keep the outside world out of mind. One of the most influential thinkers behind this approach was Bill Friedman, a former gambler who later became a casino design consultant. His philosophy was not to create beautiful, wide-open spaces. It was to make the gaming floor feel dense, intimate, and impossible to ignore. Low ceilings, tight clusters of slot machines, narrow pathways that curved instead of leading directly toward an exit. Even when guests walked toward a restaurant, a restroom, or another part of the building, their route kept bringing them past new opportunities to play. The goal was not necessarily to trap people inside a literal maze. It was to make gambling feel like the natural center of the entire building. And for years, this design became the image most people still associate with casinos today. Dark rooms, endless machines, and a world that seems completely sealed off from everything outside. By the late 1990s, some casino designers began challenging the old maze philosophy. Instead of low ceilings and crowded rooms, they created large spaces filled with flowers, fountains, artwork, natural light, and dramatic architecture. The new idea was simple. Do not make people feel trapped. Make the casino feel so comfortable that leaving never feels urgent. Luxury resorts, such as the Bellagio and Wynn, helped redefine what a casino could look like. Visitors were no longer entering a dark room built only around gambling. They were stepping into a complete world of restaurants, gardens, entertainment, shopping, and spectacle. Researchers later compared these attractive environments with older maze-style casinos. People often felt more relaxed in the modern spaces, but that comfort could also make them more willing to stay longer than planned. That is the paradox of modern casino design. The building does not always need to confuse you. Sometimes it only needs to make staying feel easier than leaving. Our sense of time depends on more than clocks. The brain uses changes in the environment to understand how long we have been somewhere. Sunlight fades, streets become quieter, shops close, people leave, and the world keeps reminding us that time is moving forward. Inside a casino, many of those signals can disappear. The lighting may remain almost identical for hours. The machines continue operating. The room stays active and comfortable, whether it is 10 at night or 2 in the morning. Most people still have a phone or a watch. The casino has not erased the time, but checking it requires a conscious decision. And when your attention is occupied by movement, sound, anticipation, and the next possible result, that decision can be delayed again and again. The important effect is not complete disorientation, it is continuity. When the environment never seems to pause, your experience has fewer natural moments that remind you to stop and ask how long you have been there. Sound and light can make that continuous experience even stronger. A casino rarely becomes completely quiet. Buttons click, machines celebrate, chips move across tables, conversations blend together, and lights flash almost every second. Researchers have found that a typical casino soundscape can affect how accurately some players estimate the time they have spent gambling. Other experiments suggest that color, sound, and musical tempo can influence the speed of decisions and the response after a loss. But there is no single soundtrack that controls everyone. Fast music may encourage faster actions, slower music may sometimes increase persistence, and a familiar song can even become a time marker. The deeper principle is simpler. A constant stream of signals leaves very little empty space, and empty space matters because silence is often where reflection begins. When every loss is immediately followed by another light, another sound, and another opportunity, hesitation becomes easier to ignore. The most effective part of casino design may not be one trick. It may be the removal of friction. Food, drinks, bathrooms, seating, entertainment, and gaming can all exist inside the same environment. The temperature remains comfortable, the lighting remains stable, and every destination connects to another without forcing the visitor outside. In some casinos, the path to a restaurant or restroom passes directly beside more games. In others, the circulation is open and luxurious, making movement feel effortless. These approaches look different, but they serve a similar purpose. Every interruption gives a person a chance to reconsider. Going outside, facing silence, searching for a destination, or feeling uncomfortable creates a mental pause. A smooth environment removes many of those pauses. Architecture cannot force someone to gamble, but good design can make continuing feel automatic, while stopping requires a deliberate decision. The casino does not control the visitor. It simply makes the next step easier than the exit. So why can 3 hours feel like 30 minutes? Because the brain does not experience time like a perfect internal clock. It reconstructs duration from attention, change, memory, and meaningful events. A casino contains enormous activity, but much of it belongs to one continuous loop. One game ends and another begins. One sound replaces another. One decision immediately creates the next. There is constant stimulation, but very little sense of completion. That may be the real reason time appears to disappear. The clock never stops. The environment simply gives you fewer reasons to notice that it is still moving. So the next time you enter a casino, do not look only for missing windows or clocks. Watch the paths you are encouraged to follow. Listen to the rhythm of the room. Notice where the building gives you a chance to pause and where it quietly carries you forward. Because the casino's most sophisticated product may be an experience that makes the outside world feel temporarily unimportant.